in lesson 8.2 in our professional planning engineer workshop. In this lesson, we are going to discuss how to develop recovery schedule. Recovery schedule. How complicated you think recovery schedule in our planning process? As we said in the previous lesson's introduction, the recovery schedule, we are creating a new baseline because of our delays as a contractor. The recovery schedule should have the same completion date of our baseline. So these 2 points considering in our mind while developing the recovery schedule. When I was a junior planning engineer, I used to panic a lot while I'm creating the recovery schedule. However, by the time and the experience, I realized that the recovery schedule is very simple. Yes, as you can hear, it is very simple. And I will prove to you now that the recovery schedule can be done in very short time, and using a smart way, it can take no time. So we have created in our case study a scenario. We have created for you an update file where you can import it to your baseline, and this update file based on a data date of 7th April 2017. The completion date of the project shifted because of the low performance in zones 15, 16, and 17, specifically in the reinforced concrete work. So the consultant asked the contractor to make a recovery plan to rectify the delays and retain the project completion date as the original scenario. So here is the current situation we have. We have update as of 7th April 2017. We have completion date after the update 28 June 2019, and we have contractual completion date 17 June 2019. What we need to do, we need to do a mitigation plan, what we called here recovery schedule, to recover the delays from the update completion date to the contractual completion date. How this happens? In very simple scenario, this is our baseline. We have here the update, and we find some delays. These delays shifted the completion date to a certain date. What we want to do now, we want to shift back the completion date, and we want to the update, when we update the recovery schedule using the same data, we show no delays, and this is the main purpose. Because the consultant and the client always panic when they see the planned percentage much higher than the actual progress. So in order to do this, we need to extend these activities by the same time of the delays and maintain the completion date to its original date. So let's go and see how to do this in our scenario. We are going to prepare 2 versions of our schedule. We have the updated schedule, which showing delays, and we have the baseline. This is our starting point. First thing, we are going to modify the delayed activities in the baseline, the start and finish, to match the updated schedule. So we need to have, in other words, the updated schedule as a baseline without any actual data. Then, after we do this, we ensure that the baseline delayed activities has the same updated start and finish date, and the project completion date matches the updated schedule. So the updated schedule and the baseline schedule are now the same. Now I'll start modifying the baseline to return the completion date as per contract using one of 2 methods, crashing and fast tracking. And the only difference between these 2 methods, that in the fast tracking, I'm going to play with the relationship to make a lag. Instead of finish to start, I will make it start to start with lag. Or crashing, I will reduce the duration in order to maintain the original completion date. So actually it is very simple process. In our case study, we shared with you two schedules, the updated schedule and the baseline schedule, and a third one, the baseline with the delays. So what we are going to do in order to maintain our the baseline and shift the dates. Simply, you are going to create a comparison sheet. The comparison sheet will find the primary baseline date. This is our baseline dates, and this is the actual dates. And simply, we are going to find the delayed activity and start shifting the dates to match the updated schedule. How to do this? It is very simple. As we said, we have two techniques. Let's explain here. For example, we have here this activity which started 21 March 2017, and the predecessor is plain concrete with zero lag. So we want to shift this activity to start 24 March 2017 to match the updated progress. So simply we can add here the lag. 3 days will shift the start date to 24th March 2017. Of course, this depends on how many activities you have, how many relationship you have to modify. But this is the simple concept. It is very, very simple. No need to complicate things and think about rocket science in order to do a recovery schedule. No, it is very straightforward process and very simple process. All you need to do is to find the delayed activities and modify these activities in the recovery, in the baseline. And you have two versions. First version will be the updated progress. Second version will be the baseline showing same start and finish dates and showing same completion dates. And you can, after you did this process, you can just do a double check that the completion date is matching and there is no differences between the updated schedule and the recovery schedule. Now, we start doing the crashing or the fast tracking to make the project completion date same as our contract. So in that case, we crash the waterproofing duration to match the completion date. And let me give you some tips and tricks here. If you have in your project different zones or different areas, you don't have to stick to the original dates for zones and areas. You can move them a little bit, but only you have to stick to the project overall completion date. So no problem to shift the start and finish dates of zones or portions of your project. But as we said, you need to have the overall project completion date is the same. Another tip, you need to check your cash flow before and after the recovery schedule, because you don't want to show to your client that you have a very high peaks in some certain months. You still have the chance to do resource leveling even if you are doing a recovery schedule. Another thing, that recovery schedule, don't try to change too many relationships. In order to give your client or consultant fast decision that you didn't change a lot. You only have certain area, you change it certain area, and you keep everything same as a baseline. And my final tip here, before submitting your recovery schedule, do update it, because it is not good at all to submit a recovery schedule and next week when you are doing a progress update you find yourself delayed. So in order to know if you are delayed or not delayed, update your recovery schedule before sending it. See what is the planned percentage and what is the actual percentage. Also, don't show yourself way ahead of the plans. This will give you a bad impression in front of your client or consultant. You are trying to cheat now. Last week you was behind, now you are ahead. No, just try to make it on schedule, at least in the first 2-3 weeks. Then if you can be ahead or behind, it will not affect your recovery schedule programming. So now we want to share with you here two schedules. This is the updated schedule, and this is the recovery schedule, and this is the file for the update where you can import it to your baseline to get this updated schedule. First, try to do it yourself. Don't use these files, but I need you to try. Now you understand the concept, try to implement it by yourself. And then you compare whatever you have done with what we did and tell us your feedback. Here also we give you some screenshots what exactly we did. This is the activities we have we shifted using the lag. And this is the activity before shifting it. And this is the activity we changed. Here the start date. The actual start date was after the primary baseline dates, so we change these activities only. And this is the recovery schedule dates. Try to do it yourself. It is very important to know how to create or to develop a recovery schedule. And of course, if you have any problem doing it, just tell us, and we are happy to answer all your questions. The reason we didn't do it in steps in front of you in Primavera, because I want you to understand the concept, and from the skills you have gained through this workshop, I need to be sure that you can implement any concept or any new concept you have learned. However, you are most welcome if you faced any problem to tell us, I don't know how to do this, and we will answer you and give you a very detailed answer. But what I need from you is to understand the concept. What is the recovery schedule? How to do it? If you know what you need to do, then you can do it. If you don't know what you need to do, then definitely you cannot do it. So try to do it yourself. Show me your files and see you in the next lesson. Thank you very much.